Life is complicated and messy. Faith is complicated and messy. And when I think about the challenges of living in faith, I can't help but think about a conversation that I had a couple of years ago. I was right in the pew, right back there after one of the late services. It was with a terrific man from our congregation who we lost recently, Carl Cole. So Carl was struggling that particular day. He came to church, needed someone to talk to. John was gone, so I stayed around afterwards and we chatted. We chatted about a lot of worries that he had, worries about his family, worries about his job, but mostly worries about his faith. He was struggling mightily to put all of his trust in God. He knew, and these are his words, he knew that he needed to turn things over to the big guy upstairs. But it was tough for him. And I could tell it was an ongoing battle for him. And I couldn't help but think about that conversation a week or so ago when I was at Carl's funeral. And what was so great about that service is that it so perfectly honored the unique, complex, wonderful person that Carl was. He was your typical guy's guy. And he went to many a men's retreat here at the church. He was a former Marine. He was an avid leather-wearing motorcycle rider. He also played in our bell choir. And at the funeral, which John presided at, he did this very interesting thing. John wanted to do this prayer that very specifically honored Carl, so he invited folks from the congregation to just call out words, individual words that described Carl. And boy, did John get the gamut of words. He got great words like character, integrity, honorable, father, son. People called out Marine and hoo-ah and Harley. And Carl must have loved his beverages, because what also got called out were things like Corona, tequila, shots. And I even heard from someone behind me the word grumpy. But I remember distinctly a word being called out by one of the ladies from the bell choir that was in attendance. And the word was this: faithful. Isn't that great? Despite his own concerns about his own faith, Carl was still recognized as faithful by others. John was able to take all these various words and he spoke this amazing prayer that honored the very real human that Carl was. And for all his struggling with his faith, we trust that that battle is now over for Carl and that he is basking in God's presence right now. You see, God understands our struggles and our weaknesses. And even more than that, God is there in the ebbs and flows of our faith. So this morning, whether you're feeling a little more like Mary or a little more like Carl, it doesn't matter. God is there for you. Believe in that.